for the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association, this truly is their busiest time of year. And on July 20th, they were hit with kind of an unexpected wrinkle in the form of a ransomware attack that, Haley, really added a lot of extra difficulty to one of the most difficult times of year for them.
It did. There's people entering rodeos everywhere. There's probably 10, 12 rodeos a week. And so it's really tough for secretaries and contestants to try to juggle this on top of rodeoing.
And of course, it was a very confusing situation as well when we talk about all the technicalities of what was happening. And we want to bring in our friends at the Team Roping Journal. They put together an extensive article on this situation, on everything that was happening from all different perspectives. So here today, Chelsea Shaffer, the editorial director for Team Roping Journal, and three-time NFR qualifier Logan Medlin. Guys, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us.
Thanks for having us.
And we've got Logan actually headed down the rodeo trail right now. No rest this time of year. August 1st, of course, means, or August 2nd, of course, means you were still literally hitting the gas pedal right now. So you've got your wife driving for you. We're going to chat and get your perspective in a second. But Chelsea, I want to talk with you first. You did such a great job, and your team did such a great job of putting together an extensive article. Can you give us an overview for anyone that hasn't read it yet?
Sure. The article was written by Jolie Jordan, who is a member of our Team Roping Journal's contributing group, and she was actually timing at Salt Lake City when all this happened. So she was part of the secretaries trying to find replacements, trying to take trades, everything like that. So she worked with Eva Chadwick, who is, a pro secretary, and they were taking all of the time, keeping track of results, doing the trades all by hand. So all of this happened because some hackers hacked into the PRCA system, the system that was built in the 1980s, but it has been regularly updated and has security measures in place, but still something that happens. And they were holding the website ransom for over $1 million. So some police officer friends of mine tell me that you can't be paying those sorts of ransoms. That's the whole point. They want you to pay it, and they'll just hack back in and make you do it again. So the PRCA rebuilt their computer systems from scratch, from what I understand. And they're getting back up and running now.
That's amazing that they were able to rebuild so quickly. Can you take me through that process of the secretaries calling and writing down entries more in depth there? I'm sure that was very difficult for them, Chelsea.
Yeah, they were getting phone calls at all hours of the night, just kind of constant interaction with the Cowboys. And they were having to handle trades by themselves. They were having to find phone numbers to get replacements for the rodeos. The rodeo secretary system in which they update results, that was down. So the ladies had to keep track of everything, hold on to everything. And some of those rodeos are still updating.
Wow, we know how dedicated our rodeo secretaries are, but I think that truly proves their extreme dedication. Logan, I want your perspective. This truly is one of the busiest time of year for you as a rodeo contestant. What was it like on your end when you realized that system was down?
Yeah, there was no contact with anything. We couldn't enter. We couldn't check trades lists. Couldn't get callbacks. I mean, everything was shut down for several amount of days. And then, I mean, it kind of simplified everything because we couldn't, as far as the Cowboys, we couldn't enter. And so there was no way to talk to anybody. And so for about a week, we just hung out. But then whenever they started opening the old way of calling in and entering on the phone, that's when things got more difficult because, man, everybody had lost touch with the PRCA for a week. And when they turned those entries back on and had to call in and enter, and you could sit for hours on hold trying to get through to talk to somebody. And I mean, I would sit there for 15, 20 minutes and wait in line, and then it would just kick you off and kick you back to the front and you just start the whole process over again. And so it was a very hectic time. I actually had to enter whenever they opened everything back up. I had to enter a circuit rodeo, Hill City, Kansas, and I called and waited, finally got through. And this lady took my entry, and whenever I got done, I said, well, I'd like to, maybe get a confirmation code just to make sure in these times I better have a confirmation code. She said, oh, I don't even have a computer in front of me right now. I'm just writing this down on a piece of paper. And if you want to give me, give me your phone number, if I run into any problems, I'll call you back. And so I just, I gave her my number and hoped that everything went smoothly. And sure enough, she did a good job. I don't even know who it was I was talking to, but she got me entered. But I thought that was very interesting that I wasn't even able to get any sort of confirmation that I had tried to enter that rodeo.
That is crazy. I know Matt Reeves was saying he was even taking down entries and numbers and sending those to the secretaries. Chelsea, where can we see this going further? How do we see this go from here?
Well, I think we're all sort of waiting. We're in a wait and see period. They did update it yesterday that that things are opening, the portal's open again. And now breakaway ropers are going to be part of the main rodeo entries, which is something new. They had been in a separate, if you looked on ProRodeo.com, it would have Fort Worth, and then it would have Fort Worth breakaway. So we're kind of waiting to see how that's going to affect the breakaway ropers. I've got a couple calls in to see if breakaway ropers, they had said the system was not built to sustain breakaway ropers as part of the regular rodeos. And now that they've rebuilt it, I'm a little hopeful that maybe the breakaway ropers will be more integrated into PROCOM.
Well, it seems like the rodeo world is so good at banding together and rising from situations like this, even better than we were before. So it sounds like they're already on the way. Thank you so much to the two of you, Logan and Chelsea, for joining us today, kind of shedding some light on the situation. Big thank you to the Team Roping Journal as well for sharing such great information in these very confusing times.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.